Hello, welcome to episode 246 of the Craft House Magic podcast. My name's Ellie and I'm coming to you from Norwich in Norfolk in the UK, and today is the 13th of April. So welcome everybody. Hope we've all had a lovely crafty week since the last time I've spoken to you, and I'm here to share the things that I've been making this week, and also Liz is going to come on and have a little mini interview and show some of the stuff that she's made. So that's going to be in the knitting section. Then I'm going to have a little bit on punch needle, and I've got 3 projects to show you that I'm really excited to show you, and I'm really getting into punch needle, so that's really exciting. I've then got some information on my shop, some of the things that are restocked in the shop, some of the kits that are available just over the weekend, etc. And then there's a little appearance from Jensen at the end of the podcast wearing a top and bottoms I made previously, but I made a modification to the neckline of the top because the neck was too tight to start with because of the fabric I'd used. So I have made that bigger, and now he can wear his outfit all together, so stay tuned for that at the end of the podcast. So now let's go on with the knitting. So here's Liz to chat about what she's been knitting. Ta-da! We've got Liz again on the podcast.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. I say that even though we're talking to a camera. Right, I've got a list of questions for you.
Go on,
the first one is from Jill from Meow Crafts. Hello, Jill.
Hello, Jill.
We met Jill at the East Anglia Yarn Festival on the video there. So anyway, right, the question that Jill said is, who taught you to knit?
My mother. My mother taught me to knit when I was 6. And I'm 70 now, so that's 64 years.
Well, that's the next question as well. How long have you been knitting?
64 years.
Blimey.
My hands are worn out.
You did have a period where you couldn't knit for a bit because your elbow was irking, wasn't it?
After I had my operation, I'm sure they pulled me and pulled my shoulder, and I thought, no more knitting. What am I going to do? So,
but you were all right after a bit.
Yes, fine.
That was all right. Phew. Because who's going to test knit things for me and do samples?
Yeah. Well, my mum used to knit loads of things. She used to knit suits. She used to knit skirts and tops and lots of things. But she worked nights at old people's home, and I think they used to knit most of the nights.
Yeah.
You know, when there was nothing to do. So that was all right then. Good.
Yeah. So what question have I got next? Right, what is your favourite thing to knit?
I like knitting patterns or lacy things. I don't like plain really a lot because that's a bit boring. I like to do lots of different things which you get me to do. I don't like it, but as soon as I get to know, I'll enjoy it.
It's easier than it looks sometimes, isn't it? You think, oh, because sometimes I give you Stephen West and you're like, oh my god, but then actually when you read it, it's not
that's
that
not
hard.
too bad. And I don't like using I like the written pattern. I don't like the charts.
Oh, you don't like charts? I'll still have to get you into charts.
I can't understand charts.
See, I prefer charts because I find them easier to find where I am and just go with it.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit boring. I like to read, and
it's just what you got used to, then, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's good. Yeah.
I think with things like colour work, I definitely prefer charts because it's...
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Because then I can see it and I don't have to keep looking at the instructions. Oh. It's like visual.
Yeah, but you're new, you're young.
Not young.
Younger.
Yeah. So my next question is, what do you find the most challenging to knit?
Dippy ends.
Oh yeah, you always moan about them.
I can't. My fingers don't go right. I drop the the needles come out if they aren't tight, and I can't keep it tight. I've got to loosen it. I think
you're quite a loose knitter as well. That makes it worse, doesn't it?
That's very hard. What else don't I like knitting? Nothing really. I don't mind most things. Yeah.
You've even done brioche and things.
I have.
I just give it you, and I didn't even tell her brioche was in it, and you just did it.
And what's that other thing where they turn it over on that last?
The I-cord, do you mean?
No. When that shawl that I did with the loop in it. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Welts.
Yeah. I hadn't knitted them before, apart from the Stephen West.
Yeah.
I've only done them on the Stephen West thing.
That was good.
That was a Stephen West. It was on the cowl.
Yes.
What was it called?
That went down into small to large. I can't remember. There's so many. It's
one of the Stephen West cowls. I'll put it on the screen. I'll remember in a minute. Yeah. The Batad cowl. That's
the one.
Yeah.
See, you are younger than me.
Just takes a few minutes to remember things. Yeah. So we've got some projects that Liz has knitted to show you. Some of these have been done quite a few years.
Well, for my Adam's sister's children, his niece and nephew. But they used to wear them, but that's just babies. baby things.
We'll see if we can find the patterns to
Yeah,
these.
so I have got it
they've-
at home, I think. That's just a little jumper.
That's a little jumper with a textured stitch.
Yeah.
What's that? That's interesting.
I don't know.
It's like got
Good.
a little bit of laciness
And
somewhere.
there's a cardigan.
So that's the little jumper with some little buttons to close the back. See if we can find
Oh, we'll have to have a look.
patterns.
That's a cardigan, similar.
That looks like the same
That is the
actual
pattern.
textured pattern, doesn't it? But the cardigan version.
Just found, I found these up. James Jensen's too big for them.
Yeah, we could have found them up when he was fitting in them.
I forgot I had them some little. They're the same with the pattern at the bottom. They got the
they're
pattern
cute.
at the bottom. Yeah.
That's very sweet.
And that's just a little jumper that my daughter was.
It's got the little pattern.
Adam's sister was knitting and I finished it.
She didn't get into knitting so much then.
No.
That's a really fluffy one.
Yeah. They'll have to go to the charity shop. Yeah.
They're lovely though.
Yeah.
They'll
Your
need to go
next
to
one?
some.
No.
No.
No. And that's a cable.
Now this one's
Cardigan.
really interesting because you knitted for this for Adam first.
When he
didn't
was a
you?
little boy, yeah.
This isn't the one that Adam wore,
That was
but you knitted it for
grandson.
your grandson.
Yeah, that's Adam's nephew, yeah, near nephew, yeah.
Is it? Would you say this is like 3 to 4 or something?
I should think that's,
Yeah.
I should think so. That's quite big.
We'll have to keep it for
Yeah,
Jensen to
when you
wear.
get older.
But
Yeah.
it's like it's
Cable.
obviously an Aaron weights
Cable.
and Aaron style cable
Yeah.
jumper. But I do have a picture
What, of Adam?
of Adam
Yes.
wearing his version of this.
Yeah.
So I'll put it on the screen. He's going to kill me for putting pictures of him.
No, he won't mind.
But isn't that sweet? And I think we know what the pattern for this one's called, but I'll put them in the description bar down below if we do
Yeah.
find them.
Yeah.
But it's one of the old sort
That's
of
an
fashioned.
old-fashioned pattern. Yeah.
I'm not sure whether you'd be able to get hold of them, but you might have some in your stash that is the same.
That's right.
But isn't
Very
that
good.
sweet?
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit big for Jensen yet, but he will definitely be
That'd
wearing
be
that
good
if you don't mind.
No, you can have that. Yeah.
And it's got cute little wooden buttons on as well.
Toggles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bless him.
So
Don't think I'd fit him now.
No, it's oh, Adam, you
No,
mean?
yeah.
We'll have to make a big one
That's
so that
right.
Adam and
You can
Jensen
wear
will
'em.
match. Yeah.
I've probably got the pattern for that at home actually. I'll find them up. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hopefully they're still printing them.
I can see it in my mind. It's got red on the back. I can remember it. Definitely. Doing it.
Well, hopefully they'll still do them, or we'll leave the codes anyway, because you might be able to get hold of them on like eBay or something if you do fancy one of the patterns. But if I can find something similar, if we can't find the actual pattern, I'll pop that in the description bar down below as well.
Good.
So thank you very much.
Is
for
that
coming
it?
on, Liz.
Hurrah.
Yeah.
Oh well. Thank
I've
you
got
very
your
much.
next project for you now.
Have you? Good. I'll finish the other one. Yeah. Good.
So
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
So my next section is punch needle. Now I am so excited about this. I started one and then I ended up doing all 3 kits that I'd got from the East Anglia Yarn Festival. So the first one that I started, which was the smallest out of the 3 kits, was from Simple Crafted Life. It was this elephant ear needle punch kit and it's worked. It looks kind of like the picture, which is always good. Really liked this kit because it had absolutely everything that you need in it. It had a bit of spare fabric and some thread to get you started to do a test piece on before you started on the proper one. It had the hoop to display it in. It had another hoop as well, which I found actually, this has got some work on it now, that this particular hoop that she recommends to actually do the needle punch in has got like a grip inside where it holds the 2 pieces of fabric together. It keeps it nice and taut as you're working. So that frame was in it as well, and this piece was actually the test piece of fabric that was in the kit as well. And then you obviously had the fabric to do this on, some fabric to sew a nice neat back to it, and all the threads that you need and all the instructions, and of course the needle punch itself. And this kit came with this needle punch that actually comes with 3 tips, so you can use this on different sizes of yarn. And the yarn that was in the kit was an Aran weight yarn, I think, so I used the biggest one out of these 3, so I'll be able to do some more needle punch with this needle in the future. Really pleased with how that's come out. It isn't the neatest work in the world. I think what I should have done is made sure that I went round all of the shapes first in each colour, just to make sure that there was a smoother edge, because it's not quite as smooth here as I'd like it to be. But you learn, don't you? It was my first project. And the other thing I I found is that when you're using your needle punch needle, make sure your thread coming out the top isn't caught on anything, because it will skip stitches. So that's the thing that I kept doing all the time, but I think I got on top of it by the end of the project. But I love this, and so Sarah Jane does kits on her website as well, so you can get hold of this, and I'll leave a link to it in the description bar down below. She's got some lovely cushion covers as well, which I'm tempted by, and I have ordered some more things from Sarah Jane from the Simple Crafted Life and the other company that I'm going to show you in a minute. So I'm really excited that I managed to actually complete this week, but not only that, as I managed to do a couple more projects as well. So the next one I got was from the Modern Crafter, which is another needle punch company, and I actually ended up getting I ended up getting one kit, and I bought enough extra stuff to do two things, and then these are the two things that I made. So this is obviously the cheese plant leaf, and then I did a J for Jensen, because I thought these two, and then I'm going to do a third one, will go really nicely in Jensen's bedroom. So this one again is just all like the flat side of the needle punch, but then the letter is a combination between the thicker side and the thinner side. You just basically do your needle punch in the opposite direction. This kit didn't come with any felt to go on the back, but I had some felt lying around, so I finished it off in the same method. The instructions in these kits actually said to use glue to glue the fabric to the back of the frame once you'd finished, but I really liked the finish that Sarah Jane had done with the Simple Crafted Life kit, so I did the same there. These ones, they've got really beautiful quality wooden frames, a bit deeper than the other set, but they suggest using the same frame to actually do the needle punch, just to finish it off. So I did prefer using the other type of frame, but this does look gorgeous being a little bit deeper. They look a bit fancier. But these ones are obviously bigger than the other one as well. But again, this was a lovely kit as well. All the things that you needed to make the needle punch were in this kit. Really lovely quality. And this one had a little fabric bag to go with it. So I've kept all my needle punch stuff all together in this little bag. So in this kit, the yarn was a bit thicker, so the needle punch was a thicker needle punch. So it's good because I've got potential to do all different size needle punch projects now. So this was the little booklet from the Modern Crafter as well. Again, really good instructions in this one as well, and there's her details on the bottom. But I will leave links to these two different companies in the description bar down below, and I would definitely recommend them both. I have actually been in contact with both companies because I wanted to put more orders in. They were both brilliant, so definitely recommend both these companies. So there we go. I have two to put in Jensen's room, and I have actually ordered another one of these frames and some more of these wools to do a matching third one for Jensen. And then I've ordered some other bits and bobs from Sarah Jane at Simple Crafted Life as well. So both of those companies I've put more orders in for. So hopefully you'll have an extended confession section next week. So I am going to be using the little bit of test piece that I started when I did the first one. I just did the heart here, which looked like this, but I'm going to use that side, and then I'm going to needle punch the opposite way to do like a background. I'm not quite sure what colour I'm going to use yet, but it seems a shame not to sort of finish it off into something. So I am inspired to do some needle punch cushion covers and rugs and things like that, so watch this space. So now's the shop update section. So I wanted to mention that I've actually changed all international shipping to tracked, so people can see where their parcels are. So many people were contacting me saying, can you tell me where my parcel is? And it's just a peace of mind just for everyone to know exactly where their parcels are. It does mean that it is a slightly more expensive, especially for large letters, to make them tracked, but not much difference on standard parcels to make them tracked, so the price has gone up a little bit on those, I'm afraid. All UK parcels are standard UK first class, but you do have the option to do a tracked as well. they sometimes take me a couple more days to post out, because I do need to go up to the city to post tracked parcels, because they don't let you do it in my local post office. So those might take a couple more days to post, but at least then you know where they are if they are tracked, if you have difficulties with the postage around your area. So we have restocked the pom-pom stitch markers. Those went out really quickly, so I have managed to restock those in the shop. Pop a picture up here what they look like. They're just easier to have a picture than try to hold them up to the camera, but they're really nice and light. But they are restocked in the shop now. The Country Fair project bag and yarn sets, they will only be on my website until Monday, so if you do want one of those, make sure you place your purchase for the pre-order over the weekend. They will be posted at the end of April. So they're a mystery set, a medium-sized project bag with an applique and free motion quilting design on the front, which is inspired by the picture on the I painted as an inspiration, and it will have some hand-dyed yarn in the colours similar to the ones that I've painted as well, and you get a couple of little extras as well. So those will be taken down first thing on Monday morning. And the last thing I wanted to say, the May yarn clubs, which are the Music from Movies Action Adventure edition and the mixtape minis for this year, the May version will be out on the 21st of April, so that's next week. So I think that's all for today. So I have saved my knitting projects to show you till next week, because Liz was on the video this week, so there will be more knitting on next week's podcast. But now over to you, Jensen.
So today Jensen's wearing his little outfit that I made him. This is the Hebden t-shirt that I've done the modifications on the neckline because it wasn't so stretchy, the fabric that I used for the neckline. And then his tangerine trousers. So the t-shirt is 12 to 18 months and the trousers are actually 9 to 12, but I've added an extra 5-inch strip on the bottom folded over, so they're a bit longer, because the tangerine trousers are really baggy and loose and these come up a little bit sort of narrower. I've just made them a bit longer to fit him now. So Jensen is obsessed with this cardboard tube, which is lovely. But I'm really pleased with this little outfit. This is the lovely fabric from Sally at You and Me Mabel, and she's given us a discount code up until the end of May, so I'll leave that in the description bar down below. So thank you very much, Jensen. Are you going to wave bye-bye to the camera?
Jensen, wave
You're going to
bye-bye.
wave bye-bye to the camera? Oh, good boy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I shall see you on the podcast next week. Bye!